What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 update video. There are a few more details coming out about the final season of Game of Thrones, but before we get started, I just want to give a quick reminder to those of you that are interested in the giveaway that I'm doing. I will announce what the prizes are and how you can enter at the end of this video, so if you're interested in participating in the giveaway, make sure you stay until the very end. Now let's dig into the video. Today's story is compliments of Watchers on the Wall, which is my favorite website and Twitter page to follow for all the leading news surrounding any and everything Game of Thrones related. The first thing I want to talk about is the ending of Game of Thrones, because I thought this news was pretty interesting, although I am not 100% buying it. Most of you should know by now that the entire plot for Game of Thrones Season 7 was leaked online all the way back in October. This was something I reported on as soon as it came out in October before Season 7 really even began filming, and this leak was damn near 100% accurate. From some of the dialogue all the way up to the major scenes was leaked months before Season 7 was set to premiere, and now that Season 8 is beginning their pre-production, leaks are already starting to come out about Season 8, which is something that HBO wants to definitely avoid. It would really suck to have an entire season leaked, but to have the ending leaked of the most successful show in history would be tragic. So, according to some of the people at HBO, they're going to take some drastic measures to try and prevent this from happening once again. I know there are already some Season 8 leaks circulating the internet, but I think it's pretty obvious that those leaks are 100% fake. I only read the leak for episode 1 of Season 8, and that was all I needed to see to know that it was fake in my opinion. There were so many inconsistencies in that leak, even for Dan and Dave's standards, so for all of you that keep asking me about the Season 8 leaks, that is my answer: they are fake. There is a reason why I never made breakdown videos on those leaks like I did for Season 7, because I knew right away that they were trash. But anyways, HBO's programming president, Casey Bloys, was recently at Bethlehem College and he was discussing the Game of Thrones finale for Season 8. He was talking about how challenging it can be when trying to write a great ending for a TV show, especially one that is as popular as Game of Thrones, but this is exactly what he said. I know in Game of Thrones, the ending, they're going to shoot multiple versions that nobody really knows what happens. Bloys says you have to do that on a long show because when you're shooting something, people know. So they are going to shoot multiple versions so that there's no real definitive answer until the end. Basically what he's saying is he knows there's going to be a ton of leaks again, because at this point it's pretty much unavoidable unless you keep all of the creators locked in a room and you shoot every scene indoors. That way no one can take any photos of the actors on set. It's going to be impossible for Game of Thrones to hide everything that they are doing, because this show is a global success with rabid fans hiding around every corner with a camera and drones and microscopes trying to dissect everything they are doing. And I will be the first to admit, I'm definitely one of those people. I wish I lived near the sets and locations, because I would be there several times a week trying to get the scoop on what's going on. But according to Casey from HBO, he said they're going to film multiple endings, that way when they get leaked again, none of us are going to know which one is the real thing. But HBO has said things like this before, and guess what? They never actually did it, and everything was still leaked, and we all knew exactly what was going to happen, and I would guarantee it's going to happen again with Season 8. This show is just too popular, and everyone on set knows this too, and there is always going to be that one person on set that can't keep their mouth shut, and things will get leaked again. Things that are even done behind closed doors. I think it's inevitable at this point. Kit Harington was on Jimmy Kimmel and he said they were filming fake scenes during the making of Season 7, but even if that was true, it didn't matter because we all still knew exactly what was going to happen, because the entire plot was leaked before they even started filming anything outside. I also have to give credit to the person that wrote this short article about this story from Watchers on the Wall, because they make a great point right here. They said HBO doesn't have the budget to film multiple finales that will never air. Game of Thrones has the biggest budget in television history, and they still stretch it out to the max and are never able to include everything that they would like to. So they can't really afford to make several fake endings. It would be a waste of time and money. They might have two actors standing next to each other on set that won't actually film scenes together, but I doubt they're going to be able to fake any of the ending scenes, especially if the ending involves any kind of a battle. They are already expensive enough and extremely hard to coordinate, and I think they would never be able to pull off a few fake ones just to fool some sneaky fans who may be nearby with telephoto lenses snapping pictures. I think it would be interesting if they did film a few different endings though, because that way they could pick the best one and use it, and I'm praying that George R.R. Martin helps them with the ending, because I would be so disappointed if they screwed it up. I think a bad ending can hurt the legacy of the entire show because fans are already pissed about the way the last few seasons played out, so I can only imagine the hate this show would get if they botched this ending. In my opinion, if I could pick the ultimate ending, I would want George R.R. Martin to write the ending, and I would want Miguel Sapochnik to direct the ending. George R.R. Martin is obviously the greatest writer this show has ever had, considering this story is his baby, his creation. And I think Miguel Sapochnik is the greatest director this show has ever had. He filmed episodes like Hard Home and Battle of the Bastards and Winds of Winter. I think those two together could knock it out of the park, but that's just my opinion. Let me ask everybody this. What is your thoughts on them filming multiple endings to throw off the fans? Do you think they will actually do something like that or not? And do you think it's actually a good idea? It sounds like a waste of time and money to me. I think they need to focus on getting things right and not trying to worry about spoilers because it's going to happen regardless if you ask me. Before I get into any of the details about the giveaway, there is one more update regarding Season 8, and this is pretty interesting too that can lend itself to much speculation. Casting calls have started, and as of right now they are looking for 2 new actors for scenes that are taking place in the last season, obviously. They are looking for child actors for both of these new roles, and the first one they need is for someone to portray a northern girl. The character should be around the age of 8 years old, but they will hire anyone up to the age of 10. They describe this role as a straight-talking northern accented girl, someone remarkable for her dauntlessness and integrity. It says this character was brought up in a family of soldiers and shares their fearlessness. This role is said to be a very nice standout part for a strong-minded young girl with a fighting spirit. This role will need to be filled by mid-November because that's around the time that they plan on starting to film her scenes. This character definitely sounds like a Lyanna Mormont or Arya Stark kind of role, and now I'm very curious to see who this person may be, especially which family she is actually from. I find this very interesting that this new character will have a standout role in the last season. Who do you think it could possibly be? They are also searching for a young boy around the age of 8 to 12 years old, and this character needs to be physically fit with an agile look, someone with a good, distinctive face. This role is described as being from a poor background, someone who has to fight to make his way into the world. This character needs to be able to completely own the scenes that he is in, and it sounds like they will be using him for multiple scenes, which is interesting as well. I wasn't really expecting them to be introducing too many new characters in this last season, but this sounds like 2 decent roles that could have some significance. I'm sure some photos will start coming out as they are filming scenes, and we should get some more answers once we see what these kids actually look like and the type of clothes that they're wearing. I am kind of anxious to learn about these 2 new roles, so leave all your comments down below because I'm curious to know what some of you think about these new updates.